Hello, I'm Gigi Burke. I am an emotional wellness expert, embodiment guide, and career coach, helping Black women resolve the disconnects between their bodies and beliefs so that they can make sensible, satisfying, and sustainable midlife career and life changes. And all this month, I'm celebrating emotional wellness because it is National Emotional Wellness Month. And each weekday, I am jumping in here with some quick videos offering you tools, tips, techniques, and sources of inspiration to help you optimize your emotional well being. Because it is no secret by now that the ability to be with our emotions and to manage our emotions makes all the difference in our happiness and success, not only in our careers, but also in our lives. And so this week, I'm talking about an aspect of emotional wellness that all of us struggle with, which is self care. And today, what I wanted to share with you is, of course, something that I struggle with too when practicing self care, and that is being compassionate. How many of you struggle with compassion? Or here's a better one for you. In the comments below, I would love to know, what is your definition of compassion? And is it something that you find that it's easy to understand or difficult to understand? Let me know in the comments below. And I'll share with you what comes up for me when I think of compassion. Compassion for me is basically self hugs. That means, understanding that I'm suffering and giving myself the grace to know that I am suffering and being okay with that. And for me, the biggest struggle that I've had, and I've seen this in other people too, is that when we approach our self care, we don't have compassion. We approach it from, I should do this, I should do this, I should do this. Or here's one telltale sign that I know when I'm not being compassionate with myself is I am very judgmental of my own actions and of the actions of other people. Oh, I should have been able to do X, Y, and Z because I know A, B, and C. Yes, I may have the knowledge and the skills and the expertise to solve that particular problem, but just because I have that doesn't mean I'm going to do everything correctly. And the same holds for you. Just because you know better, that old saying, if you know better, you should do better. Just because you know better doesn't necessarily mean you're going to do better. And it isn't necessarily because you're lacking something, but rather it's because we're not being compassionate with yourself and understanding that you are where you are right now and being okay with that. And also letting go of the knowledge, skills, and expertise. And that's going to sound a little crazy, but sometimes you have to let go of that to practice the compassion, because when we are embracing our knowledge and skills and expertise, oftentimes we're doing it with our professional hats on. And sometimes we just have to let go of the professional hat and focus on the person. Be a human first, then be a professional. And that is the way that you will approach your self care, with compassion. And it's going to make all the difference in how you practice the self care when you approach it from being a human first, as opposed to approaching it from your profession, which I've been guilty of doing that. And I've seen this happen over and over with people that I work with, in discussions that I'm a part of, groups that I'm a part of, even social media, when I see people making comments about this on social media. So, here are some things that you can do to shift out of the professional mode and just go back to being you so that you can practice the self compassion. And the number one thing I'm going to say is let go of the judgment. And that is difficult because we are wired to judge. Judgment is how we fill in gaps in information, how our senses makes sense of information, how our brain makes sense of it. So if we didn't have something to fill in those gaps, we would not function the way we do. However, where the rub comes in is when we hold on to those judgments, even in the face of contradictory evidence, or when we hold on to those judgments to the point where it's unhealthy for us. So let go of the judgment to practice the compassion. Another thing is listening. And if this is a challenge for you, go back and check out the video that I shot on listening and self-care. But listen. First, learn to listen to yourself, most importantly. Then practice listening to others. The third thing that I would share to help you be more compassionate is to be kind to yourself. Oftentimes, when we jump into something, we again tend to jump into it. We should know this, we should have this. We want to come in as an expert with this. And really, you may need to come in as an amateur. And more importantly, come in as you in practicing this stuff. So be kind to yourself. You may not nail it on the first try, the second try, or the third try, but this leads to the most important part of all of this is persist and practice. Persist and practice with this. It may take a couple tries. It's something that you do over and over again. And if you try those things and learn how to shift from being a professional to being a human, that is what's going to help you be more compassionate with yourself. And when you are more compassionate with yourself, you're going to be able to be more compassionate with others. But that is one of the best ways to care for yourself, is to be compassionate with yourself. It makes the difference in how you approach your self-care. So I hope you found that helpful. Drop comments in below. I'd love to know what you thought about this. And as I said, let me know your definition of compassion. And also, don't forget to like and share this video with anyone else that you feel can benefit from this. And by the way, just keep in mind that if you would like some more support around this, you just want some space to get some more clarity around this, then feel free to schedule a time for us to talk. You're under no obligation to purchase anything. This is simply a chance for you to make a decision on what's going to be best for you right now in terms of your career. So the link will be to below. Check it out. Thank you so much. I really enjoyed this. And until next time, take care and give yourself plenty, plenty, plenty of self hugs. Bye for now.